required for everyone's safety.
What is up YouTube, this is Joel2TV back with more for you to see, and today this is not something that I normally do, which is a vlog, and this is a special occasion because the Donda 2 performance by Kanye West was in Miami, so I had to take advantage of the opportunity that I had and go down there and get some footage for you guys. Now why I say it's not an ordinary video is because typically I would talk through the entire video, but the problem that I had was that when I finally got to the event, there actually was no cameras allowed, even though you were able to record on your phone. So it didn't really make sense to me, but I'm gonna try as best as I can to sit here and explain everything to you guys. What we did is we took a train called the Bright Line from West Palm to Miami, which is a straight shot and it's about an hour ride. But the benefits of that is that you don't have to worry about traffic, you don't have to worry about, accidents and stuff like that, and also you don't have to worry about parking. Now the trip from the Bright Line train station to Lone Depot Arena, which is where the Donda 2 concert is about a 10-minute drive. So what we did was we were about to call an Uber, but next thing you know is I went to go talk to one of the Bright Line employees, and they actually hooked us up with a ride in the Tesla from the train station to Lone Depot Arena. Once we got to the arena, we saw that the lines were ridiculous just waiting. We got there at about 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and the concert didn't start until 8 o'clock. So we just thought it'd be cool to go get the merch, go get our seats, and figure everything out from there. One of the things, like I said earlier, was that they didn't let me bring my camera into the venue because it was something that Kanye West requested. Even though we have phones that have quality as the same as this, they wouldn't let me bring my professional camera in there. So it was a weird thing, and it wasn't like I had a massive lens or anything like that. The lens was probably like that big. It's a mirrorless camera, so I didn't get it. Once we got into the venue, we see all the fans with all these different sneakers, and it was pretty cool because it's kind of like other fans that really love the things that you love. It's kind of like when I go to sneaker cons and stuff like that. It's like people have these like-minded things, or they really enjoy the same things that you do. So it's kind of cool going to the Donda 2 concert and just seeing other people that vibe with Kanye West as heavy as you do. So it was just a cool vibe to be in that same bubble as everybody else. We finally got to go to the merch stand, and those lines were ridiculous, but once we got to the section that we needed to get to, we got to see some of the merch that they had, and we just weren't interested at first because of the prices. I mean, some of the hoodies were running upwards of $200, and I just was like, I'm not willing to spend that much money on a hoodie. Not only was this a Yeezy kind of merch, it was with the Gap and Balenciaga, so that's what really drove up the prices of this merch. Another cool thing from merch is that we saw the stem player being sold at like its own little venue, so I thought that that was pretty cool, and I didn't expect for them to have their own little venue for the stem player. But if I had to be completely honest, like the whole thing leading up to it, it was really promoting this stem player, and that Donda 2 is only gonna be on this stem player. It felt like this entire thing was a ploy for stem player. Like the album and everything was like a ploy to do the stem player. Like even on the Megatron that they had up in the stadium, like they had a lot of these moon looking shots that obviously resembled a stem player rotating. So it was like a huge commercial for the stem player, and some of the people behind me were even saying the same thing. Now originally the plan was to be up in the nosebleeds and the cheap seats because that's all that we could afford, and so we went up there. We weren't the biggest fans of it, and next thing you know, we were like, let's see what that section looks like downstairs. So we went down into section 4, which right here on this map that I'm going to put up, you could see how much closer it is than where we previously were in I think the section was 302, which was the very corner and the very top of the stadium. It was kind of cool that we ended up getting in there and we got the operation done to the point where we could sit so much closer. So going into this event, I knew that Kanye West was going to be late to it. Like I said earlier, it was supposed to be slated to start at 8 o'clock at night. Well, it didn't start until about 11 p.m. at night. So it was an extremely long wait for Kanye West to come out and perform. So it was kind of like wild that we had to wait that long for him to come out and perform. I don't know if he was just waiting for us to fill up the stands or whatever the situation was, but I knew that he was going to be late. I just didn't know it was going to be that late. Once the wait was over, the performance was well worth it. It started off with a ball of fire just exploding, and then next thing you know, the entire prop house was on fire. At least through the windows it was coming out, and it was really cool to see stuff like that. Like the visuals on this was absolutely phenomenal. Like you had a huge like kind of lake that was surrounding the house, and it was just really cool to see, you know, kind of him splashing around and performing the album while the house is burning in the background. And once the house was done being burned and everything like that, it calmed down, and then the house actually split in half. And it just was like a whole crazy experience that we had, and I just had such a good time. And it was a really good performance. The only thing that I had to complain about with the performance is I couldn't hear most of the music. You would think that going to the concert slash, you know, live listening party, you'd be able to hear the music. It was so loud and the bass was turned up so much that you just couldn't hear anything that he was saying. So the beats felt good with the bass and everything, but I had no clue what he was saying. And that actually like really bothered me and really kind of like ruined the event just a tad bit, just because it's like I really wanted to hear, you know, the new music coming out. You know, nevertheless, the performance in itself was great. The features that they had was great, and it was just such a good experience. And then near the end of it, they started playing Jail and Praise God and stuff like that, and like the engineer really messed it up, and like you could tell, like being there, he threw the mic down into the water because like it was offbeat, there was no auto tune, so like he just sounded really bad. So everything was like good, and then like as it came to an end, like it just went way down. And then the performance with Playboy Cardi like just screaming randomly, and then also Fabio was like completely off sync. But looking back on it, I had a great time. I got to spend time with Jocelyn, I got to spend time with my brother, and I just had a really good time because it's just something that I haven't done well over 6 years. And just to be able to sit here and watch another performance and kind of like be in this moment again with like the crowd of people that love the same artist as you do and love the same things as you do, all in this one section. It was very meaningful, and it was something that was very memorable. Outside of the performance and the production issues that they had, I really gotta give this a 9 out of 10 just because of how much fun I had with not only Jocelyn but my brother. And it just was such a fun experience, and the concert was just a great production value in itself. Like everything visually was beautiful. Yeah guys, I just wanted to tell you what it was like out there at the Donda 2 live performance, and I just wanted you to know how it was. And also they did exclusively release it on that stem player. There are 4 songs right now that have been released on the stem player. Still not willing to pull the trigger on $200, but it is an option out there if you really wanted to listen to it and have a fun device to listen to different music on. But yeah guys, thanks for watching the video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and please be sure to share. Joel2TV out. Donda 2, is it ever fully gonna drop? I don't know.